Now the great thing about OneFile is that it enables you as a learner to conduct what they call self-assessment. Now this is your course, you're in charge of it, and your destiny is your own. Clearly as tutors we care about your learning journey and we do everything we possibly can to help you, but we can't do it for you. And what we can do though is set the conditions appropriately for your own self-directed learning, in that you can evidence specific set criteria. But what happens when you, knowing the course, as I'll show you how to do so in a minute, think that you can evidence something now before being formally taught it? Well, this is what we call self-assessment, and this is how you do it. So first of all, we're on the portfolio dashboard here as if you've just logged in. What we do is we go to portfolio, and then on our portfolio page we scroll down until we get to what we call the unit summaries, and there will be listed all of the units, the learning outcomes, and then the actual criteria for the learning outcomes for the entire course. Let's say for example that you know that unit 2 is just around the corner. You're up to speed with all of your assessments and you want to familiarise yourself with what it is that you that you'll be taught on that particular workshop. So you're able to come to the unit summaries, you're able to look at these, and you're able to say, well, this is quite interesting. You're able to click on unit 2 for example, and you're able to see what your current progress is. You can see that's nothing, but you're able to see what's been set, if anything, or any messages, and we can see there's nothing set. So going back, we're able to say, well, hang on, what about outcome 1? What's outcome 1 all about? Plan, monitor and activities according to requirements of own role. You're able to look at the assessment criteria. Crucially is this area here, read about this unit, and it will be at the bottom of each unit in your particular course. If you click on that, it will then open up more detail about the outcomes. It will give you the opportunity to download a PDF version, which if you open will give you more detail about that unit, about the criteria, what you may or may not be assessed on, and again listing out what the learning outcomes are for that unit. Now let's say, having done that, you familiarise yourself, you're fairly confident that you're able to evidence something in advance. You can set your own assessment, and the way in which you do that is as follows. First of all, you go to assessment, you then click on create assessment, you select an appropriate method. In this case, let's say we're going to submit a witness testimony, and we give it an appropriate title. And then we're able to holistically against multiple criteria or separately, and we'll click on separately for this one. We click on start, and what we're able to do now is set the criteria. So we're able to say, well, this is for unit 2, isn't it? We'll be able to meet that one and that one. We haven't got any evidence at the minute, but we know that we will be getting some. We're setting this for ourselves, and we click on save. When we click on back, we've got some info here, but essentially all we do now is we go down and we tick in that little box there and click save and quit. Now if we haven't got any evidence to submit to it yet, then it's probably not worth saving and quitting, but saving and refreshing, and you're able to then come back to it, or even not even ticking in the box at all, save and refresh. And I'm able to come out of this now, and if I was to go into my assessments for example, you'll see it'll be listed there. So that is a way in which I can set an assessment myself based upon my own knowledge of the units and its criteria. And of course I can go back to this assessment no different than any other assessment, and I can add my evidence to it and so on, as you were shown in method 1 and method 2. So this is another way that we can evidence assessment, but in advance, a self-assessment if you will. My sincere advice to you is to engage with your tutor first before creating your own self-assessments. It may well be that a learning plan has been designed to ensure that actually the conditions are set appropriately in framework information before an assessment is set, which is our preferred way at Train Together. But we're all in the workplace and we're all experienced, and you may well be able to provide evidence in advance under self-assessment, and you will always have that right to do so.